Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sneha, and today I wanted to film my very first video of 2020. So wishing you all a very happy new year. And today I'm going to kickstart the year with the final update for my Project Pan 2019. So let's get started. Just briefly, I had chosen 19 or 20 products depending on if you see two of the same lipsticks. So let's get through them quickly and I'll explain why I didn't use certain products or if I've replaced some products to use instead of the product that I had chosen for 2019. First, I'm going to start off with some of the skincare products that I've chosen for 2019. And if you guys have seen the update video from August, I believe, you do know that I have completed both the moisturizers that I had chosen for the skincare aspects. And I also went ahead and used up another La Roche-Posay Effect La Duo Plus Moisturizer. It's my favorite one and I'm currently on my fourth one, which you can see right here in this picture. So that's two products down. Next, I had a lip balm that I'd chosen, which is the Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream. And unfortunately, earlier this year or late last year, I discovered Homeoplasmin, and that completely replaced the Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream. And although I just have 10 or 20% here remaining in here, I don't tend to use this as a lip balm. So I tend to use this more on photo shoots where I want a really high gloss, shiny, dewy kind of a skin. That's when I get use out of this product. So it is kind of incomplete. At the same time, I've replaced it with this and you can see how much I've already used up. From this, I have probably 10 or 20% remaining in this tube. So I would go ahead and consider this as a success for me. Next, moving on to face primer. I had chosen the Erborian Matte Cream Face Primer, and I don't know, I probably may have used it a handful of times in the entire year. I'm just not a primer person, and anytime I did want to use a primer, I ended up using my NARS primer. So honestly, I don't know how much use I've got out of this, maybe 1%, 2%, but it's almost brand new in the packaging. So that was a fail for me. Next, moving on to foundations, I had the Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade Cashew. So this was the foundation of choice, and as you can see, I've completely used this one up. The other one remaining was this one, which is like a concoction that I make, mixing a couple of shades of my Estee Lauder Double Wears and then with some yellow adjusters, yellow and blue adjusters. And I do have about so much remaining in this tube, but the shade is kind of dark for me in the winter. I've lost my tan, so that's the reason I have that amount remaining. But as soon as I get some color back, I think I should be able to get through this. So this is pending, but the main bottle of foundation is complete. As a setting spray, I've chosen the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and I've completely used this one up. And I had told you that I would probably move on to my Skindinavia setting spray, but throughout the year I've used so many different ones. I've used the Face Italy Ultra Matte one, so this is probably like 40% remaining. I have the Urban Decay De-Slick. This one has such a tiny amount remaining. I've just kept it for a setting spray comparison video that I'm going to do this year. So that's that. I've also used some of these two setting sprays. You can see this is the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day. I've used about maybe 50% of it, but I don't like the scent. I just find it a little too much for me when I spray it. So that's the reason that's on the back burner. And I sometimes have also used this. So I kind of rotate through my setting sprays. Currently I'm using the Skindinavian. This is about maybe 60% still full. So I have got quite a use from my setting sprays, and I'm happy that the one I've chosen is finished. Now moving on to eye products, I have a few that I've gone through. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Coal Eye Pencil, and it's so tiny now, and it has kind of dried up, so I have discarded this, so it is, in my opinion, used up completely. Second one was this NARS Eye Primer, which is the mini size, and I have completely used this one up. I love this. This is hands down my favorite eyeshadow primer of all time, other than the Viseart one, especially when I work with textured eyelids. Next, the mascara of choice was the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes 2, and explained that although I like the formula, it kind of irritates my eye anytime my eye is watery and it breaks down the mascara. So I'm so happy that I finally got through this and I can let go of this mascara. For concealer, I've chosen the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is in the shade Ginger. But I don't know if the formula has changed or something. Whatever was remaining in here, maybe about 10% or so, it was creasing under my eyes, which I don't remember it doing earlier, so I have gotten rid of this. And the last eye product I'd chosen was this Anastasia Brow Duo. So this is what it looks like. And as you'll see in the picture right here, I've made quite a bit of dent in both the light and the dark shades. And despite using it all year through, except maybe a handful of days where I might have used a pencil or something, you can see how little of the product I have used up. I think this would easily last me at least a year or two more before I use up this product or even hit pan. Next, moving on to lip products. I had two of the Kat Von D Lolita lipsticks. So this is the mini one, and as you can see, I've completely used this one up. As far as the larger one is concerned, I do think I've used more than 50% of what I had remaining, but I still have so much to complete, which I think should not be difficult. I still have it usually on my table when I'm getting ready, so I am trying to completely use this up in the next few months. Another reason why the Kat Von D lipstick wasn't used up is because I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. This is the Bond Girl one, and you can see that I've almost used it up. Just have a little bit of raised lipstick right there remaining. The next lip product I have is the ColourPop lip pencil. This is in the shade While Nothing, and as you can see, I have a tiny bit remaining, and this is one of my favorite lip liners, so I'm definitely going to continue using it. Unfortunately, they don't make the shade anymore, which I'm sad about, but I do have a backup, so once I use this one up, I will use my backup. Another lip product that I'd chosen was the Lime Crime lipstick in the shade Saint, and I've completely used that up, but I just can't find the tube of it. I might have thrown it when I was decluttering some of the lipstick products that I have, but if I do find it before I post this video, I will put up a picture right here. But do know that it's completely loved and used up, and it was probably trashed. And then lastly, talking about some face products, this is the MAC Pro Sculpting Powder in the shade Shadowy, and as you can see here, I've made quite a bit of progress. This is quite a pigmented product and it's quite dark for me, so since I've lost my tan now in the winter, I don't get much use out of this. I've been using my Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder instead, which is a lighter shade. But I do think when I have some color back in 2020, I can completely use this one up, because from the amount remaining, I've probably used maybe 70% of the product in the whole of 2019. So this will definitely get used up this year. As a bronzer, I've chosen the MAC Mineralize Powder, Skin Finish Powder in the shade Dark. And again, you can see that the dent on this has become bigger, but it's nowhere close to hitting pan. So I do think that I will at least have a few more years of good use from this product. Next, moving on to face powders. The first one I've chosen is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Powder, and this is in the shade Medium. And as you can see in this picture right here, I've made a huge progress in this. And I've saved this only to show you, but as soon as this video is done, I'm going to scrape all of this from the edges and repress it, because it's really difficult for brushes to get much product from the sides. And once I repress it, that's how I'm going to finish up this product. Another powder I'd chosen for my project pan, which doesn't have much success, is this powder by Makeup Forever. This is the Pro Finish powder in the shade 123. A lovely powder. This is what I've used today as well. But just that since I was focused on the Charlotte Tilbury powder, I didn't get to use this as much. So this is a rolling product I am going to try and use as much as possible in 2020. And lastly, I had a blush palette, and I didn't go in with the intention that I'm going to hit pan on any of these, but it is surprising to see how little of a blush one can use. So I'm going to insert a picture right here of the progress, but this is what the palette looks like. And from this distance, you can barely tell that I've used any of these shades, but I have made quite a bit of dip in these two shades, especially compared to the other ones. I don't really use these two shades, so it's mostly these three shades, and my favorites are Crave and Darling. So that's the last product, and when I did travel with it, the mirror cracked, so I might depot this palette into something else, but that's the last product I had in my Project Pan 2019. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a Project Pan in 2020, but definitely doing this last year has made me appreciate or actually value products more. and to actually realize how long it takes to get through a full product. So that has definitely affected my buying or purchase habits. So it has gone down, is what I mean, because I know that it takes me forever to go through a product. And these were despite them being my favorite products. So, yeah. But I really hope you enjoyed watching this final update of Project Pan. And if you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.